Greetings from St. Thomas Cathedral CNI in Mumbai. Friends, let us bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, once again as we come before you during this period of lockdown, we pray, O Father, that you would continue to do the work in our lives and the life of our loved ones. We pray as we meditate on your word, we pray that you would create a fire, an enthusiasm within us, so that even with these limitations, we will be useful to you and your kingdom. In Jesus' name we ask, Amen. On the day of resurrection, Jesus asked Mary, "Whom are you searching for?" And this question seemed to come in various forms again and again, asking each individual, who is it that we are searching for? Jesus, the Good Shepherd, is the theme for the Sunday, and the passage is taken from the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 10 onwards. Whenever we think about the Good Shepherd, we have a picture in our mind, a picture that is there of Jesus standing with a sheep in his hand, a staff in his hand, and it is the most peaceful or a loving photograph or artist depiction of who Jesus as the shepherd is. There are many churches that are named after the word Good Shepherd. When we look into the words spoken by Jesus, addressing himself as the Good Shepherd, we need to look into the context a little bit more. This comes immediately after John 9, where a man who was blind was healed. And this man who was blind was healed. He was blind from birth, and everybody knew about his situation. But nobody could do anything about his situation, and Jesus is the one who reached out and healed this man. The narration, the way it is narrated is interesting because it tells us the various reactions of the parents, the neighbors, and even the so-called priests and the Pharisees who were there in the temple, the guardians of the law. And the final conclusion to this whole story is this, that this man is excommunicated. This man is excommunicated. And at this point of time, Jesus goes and finds him, and then once again builds a relationship with him. So chapter 10 talks about Jesus saying that I am the Good Shepherd. Why did Jesus choose to say this? This is, by the way, one of the 4 I am sayings of Jesus Christ. The previous one was saying that I am the door, and no one comes to the Father but through me. But this one talks about him being the Good Shepherd. Now again, our temptation this morning is to go back to the Old Testament, refer to the shepherds who were there, look at the qualities of the shepherd, and then say this is what Jesus is for you and for me. But this story is much more than what it seems. The word shepherd that Jesus used is not something that could be used by anybody else. The Old Testament talks about the shepherd with connection to Jesus, with connection to God. God was seen as a shepherd. God was seen as a one who will bring those who are scattered back. Why they were scattered? Because of their own sin. Why they need to be brought together? Because they were in exile, while they were far away from their home, far away from their loved ones, far away from the familiar spiritual environment. They were far away from that, and they wanted to come back, and therefore they saw God as a shepherd one day calling all the flocks back. And Jesus in the temple says, I am the good shepherd. He is saying, I am He. I am the God that is there in your scriptures, and I am the one who has come for you. You know, this is such a great statement, a big statement that Jesus makes. If you read in chapter 10, people actually pick up the stones to stone him at that point of time. Jesus was making a declaration that he is the promised Messiah. So it is not just identifying with a shepherd. It is not just identifying and saying that I was like the others before me, or I was not like the others before me. But he is saying that I am the Messiah. I am the one who is promised. I and God are one. That is what he is coming to. And that message reaches out to the people, very clearly. Very clearly. If you have your Bibles open, you can turn to chapter 10 of Gospel according to John, verse 24. You know, the Jews surrounded him and said to him, how long do you keep us in doubt? If you are Christ, tell us plainly. If you are Christ, tell us plainly. So they were asking him, who are you? Are you the one that is promised? They surrounded him. They surrounded him and they asked the question. Now let's take a step back. It is a question of his identity right from the start. It is a question of his identity right from the start. People have been asking who this man is. They have mistook him for a prophet, great man, great teacher, and all that. But Jesus was clear who he was, and therefore he says, I am the good shepherd. He is saying that I am the Messiah who was to come. Okay, so Jesus, go back to the stories again. Look at what Jesus does. He calls the disciples together and say, Alright, come here. What do people say, or who do people say I am? He asks them this question. Who do people say I am? And those questions were those answers were also the same. A prophet, or John the Baptist has come back, or a great preacher, or a teacher. Then we have the very important question that Satan puts across to Jesus. Look at the difference in which people question Jesus' identity, and look at the way how Satan questions Jesus' identity. Satan questions Jesus' identity by saying, if you are the Son of God, ask this stones to become bread. If you are the Son of God, jump, the angels will hold you. If you are the Son of God, bow down and I will give you this. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. He keeps at it. He is the only one who has a very clear idea of who Jesus is. So he always addresses him as Son of God. He's very clear. But the people keep asking him who he is. And they keep mocking at him without understanding what Jesus is saying. The Word of God tells us again and again things very clearly who Jesus is. People still mistake him for a great moral teacher, including devout and stout, including devout Christians. That is where they stop, because then the accountability is not there. It's a good teaching. It's like let's take an example. Like in the morning, every morning you get WhatsApp messages, good mornings from everyone. And along with those good mornings, you also have wonderful inspirational texts. Now you read all of them. Some of them you ignore, but most of them you read them. When you read them, if you find an interesting one, what do you do? What do? You forward it to somebody else, because that would be inspirational. But it's a choice that you exercise, that you are not accountable for all the messages that come to you. Similarly, when we come to Jesus, this is the basic understanding that we are not accountable to everything that he tells us. We are not accountable to everything that he tells us. We only pick and choose what is comfortable to us and our loved ones. And that is what we pass on to others. But Jesus, if you remember, point blank says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. There was no clear thing saying that ta 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 ta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the ones that you need to keep, which are the ones you can ignore. What he said was every instruction that has been given has been for your benefit and for the benefit of the church, has been for the benefit of the loved ones. This is where we come back to the same passage of Jesus as a good shepherd. It is once again not the cuddly sheep, but he is talking about you and me. My sheep know my voice, and I know them, and they will follow me. Isn't that amazing? My sheep know me. My sheep know me. And I know them. And I know them. Jesus is connecting, Jesus is declaring a relationship that is formed. Brothers and sisters, after 40 days of keeping ourselves separate, 40 days of sacrifice, 40 days of discipline, we come to the day of resurrection, and then it's almost like everything is over. We go back to our normal lives. But Jesus is telling us it is a new beginning, and this beginning is a relationship between you and me. We have formed a relationship. I know you and you know me. How is that possible unless we spend time with him? Unless we say, this 40 days were good, but I'm going to carry on a life of discipline, a life of sacrifice. I am going to carry on to know my Lord. And this is what this passage is all about. It's again talking about his identity. Who is he to you? Wasn't this the same question that he asked the disciple? Who do people say I am? And then he goes further and says, who do you say I am? So this question this morning for you and for me is, who is Jesus for us? Who is Jesus for us? Is he someone important to us? Important enough that everything that he says or everything that he communicates to us that we implement in our lives? Or is he someone just like the many others that are there in our so-called world, or the world which displays it to us? We pick and choose, this is good for him, this is good for me, that is good for me, and say that. Today we are confronted with the choice. It says, my sheep know my voice, and my sheep follow me. Jesus is confident. He is saying this to the whole world, that I know my people, and my people know me, and my people will follow me. No matter how hard it is going to be, no matter how difficult life is going to be, no matter what the choices are going to be, it is my sheep, it is my people, and I will be their God. So today we are confronted not just with a goody-goody image of Jesus with a sheep, we are confronted with a God who is there in front of us, who is saying, I am here. I trust my relationship with you. Are you going to walk the whole way? That is what he's asking you and me this morning. Friends, it's an opportunity for us. It's an opportunity for us as we are confronted with this passage in John 10 to pick up the issue of his identity and our identity. Remember, in the Garden of Eden, God made man in his own image. So you and I have that image, and God intends to restore it. God intends to be a matter of pride. God intends that this would be a a sign, a symbol for many. I'm reminded of what Jesus said. A lamp that is lit is not hid under a basket. A lamp that is lit is kept in a place where everybody can see it. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Friends, God has poured His power, poured His strength, poured His very identity into you and me, and He is going all the way by publicly declaring that you belong to Him, and you and I belong to Him. You and I not only belong to Him, we are able to hear His voice and we are able to follow Him after. So this morning, it's a time for all of us to keep aside things that hinder us. One thing this lockdown has taught us, that there are many things that are not important. You sit back and think. In this time, you have reached out to many, many people. Even people outside the country, even people who you have not even talked to. You would be surprised that you would find your spouse, your children, or yourself scrolling through the contact list and saying, who have I not yet talked to, and calling that person up. Will you talk to God this morning? Let us bow our heads. Heavenly Father, as we come before you, we thank you for who you are. We thank you for the love that you've shown us. And we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, who's given for us. We come before you this morning, not just asking for strength and wisdom to live as your children, but we pray and intercede for the world around us as well. As we enjoy your protection with our loved ones, we pray for those who are suffering. We pray for those who are victims. We pray for those who have been separated from their loved ones because of the sickness. We pray for the families of those who lost their loved ones. God, the news that we hear is not encouraging. But the God that we trust, we know is capable of standing and saying, be still and know I am God. Lord, we pray that you take over the situation in our city, in our country, and in the world. Lord, heal us. Lord, heal us. Lord, be the strength for all those who suffer at this time, especially for those who do not have any form of job, any form of home. We pray, Father, that you would open doors for them. Lord, free us. In Jesus' name we ask.